Alright, so we are going to continue our journey of sculpting this character. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started with the time lapse just so that we can finish up the main details of the mesh. And let's just get my leg muscle reference here just so I can see what I'm doing a bit better. And we'll get started. So I'm gonna try to finish this up as quickly as I possibly can, because I too don't want to be here for for too long. So we'll cut back on dynamic topology. And the last time we left off, we had just fixed this issue with the hand. So if you've reached this part of the mesh, you'll notice that we're going to start making different creases and things like that a bit more frequently. And there's a brush pack that you can download that'll help you with that task a bit more. So if you go here and go to blend swap, you see the ZBrush or brush pack for Blender. What you want to do is you want to download that Blender file or folder, and then you want to save it wherever you save your things. And in your currently open Blender folder, you want to go to File and Append, and then go to where you saved your brushes. So I saved mine in a brush pack folder. And then you go to the brushes, and then you download all of these that have ORB in front of them. Leave the regular ones alone. So once you grab these, click append. And now when you hover over the draw brush and then go to the icon, you'll see that we have a few more options here. I'll just go over and show you what a few of them do. So this one is for cracks and such, and it has the smooth stroke option turned on. So this is a good way to get in and add some sharp creases to different parts of your mesh. So that's actually really good for, this part right here. And they have a couple of other crack brushes, so this is a different one that might give you some different results. So you can see the radius of the crack is a bit deeper. This is for making like swirls, and so this would be good for making some veins. So I'll show you if I invert the function of the brush with control and I just draw over here, you see I can get some veins out of this brush pretty easily. Okay. And so just go through and test what the different brushes do. Like I believe this one does something that you need a lot more detail than I have here. But what we're really gonna be looking for are the brushes that have to do with hard surfaces. So these brushes here, let me go through and make sure that I can find this. Okay, here we go. So clay tubes. And so I believe this is the brush that is really good for flat. Yep, there we go. So this is like the clay strips brush, but better. So inversing the functionality of this brush, you can go in and see you can flatten out certain surfaces pretty quickly and stylistically, and then you can go in and smooth those edges like that. Use the different brushes, for your individual purposes for the sculpt. I just wanted to show you guys that free tool that you can use to enhance your brushing, your sculpting experience. So I'm going to get back to sculpting, and I will see you at the end of the time lapse. Alright everyone, so we have most of the small details done. The only other things that we need to do now are make the eyeballs and the paws for the foot. So the first thing we're going to do is make the eyeballs, because that's I feel like that's the easiest thing to do. So whoops, don't want to go into edit mode like I just did. So excuse that, go back to not modeling, layout. Want to go to layout. Now you see that our mesh has somehow gotten off center here. That's fine. Just hit Shift S, cursor to world origin, Shift S, selection to cursor, and then hit period on the number pad. And just to make the eyes, we're just going to Shift A, mesh, UV sphere. Tab in edit mode, rotate this sphere 90 degrees on the right view. Go back to the front. Scale it down and place it where it would go in the head, and then we'll sculpt around it when we get back into sculpt mode to make the folds in the skin and whatnot. So I think that's about as good of a placement as any. And then we can, like I said, we'll make the skin and things surrounding it when we get back into the sculpt mode. So that's all you really need to do for that. You can go in and hit W and shade smooth, and then get back to sculpting. So I will see you back when we're finished. So guys, as you can see, making the eyeball was really pretty trivial. It was actually one of the easier things to do as far as our sculpt is concerned. So just finish up those details, and when we finish here, that'll be that for this video. Right, I did say I was gonna show you guys how to put the paws on the bottom feet there, so I'll do that, and then that'll be it for this video. So let's do that now. So we pretty much have everything as far as the basic landmarks are concerned and the extra details. So what we're going to do, just gonna smooth this area a little bit just because that's good. I like that. All right. So to make the feet, we want to go back to layout. Now that we're in layout, we're going to go to the front view, and we'll Shift A with our cursor to the center, and again that's Shift S, selection to cursor. I don't know why my screencast keys are off. There we go. So Shift A, mesh, cube, and again you might want to find some reference for Paws, so just go to Google real quick. Dog Paws. Boom, there we go. We got plenty of paw reference. So from the looks of it, the two front toes are in a more forward position than the, I guess, the like palm region. So what we'll do is we'll just construct some paws like that real quick. So in order to do that, we're gonna go into edit mode here. And we're gonna use one mesh to make all the paws and just place them differently. So start, we're gonna add a couple of edge loops here, and then we'll add one here, and then one in the center just for. Okay, so this is simple to making the, or similar to making the hand, but not quite. Well, at least the fingers for the hand. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go down here. Whoopsie daisy. The mouse I'm using is different from the mouse I usually use, and the middle mouse click function is not working. So this is going to take me a bit of getting used to. SX to scale down there, and SZ to scale up. Now what we need to do, whoopsie daisy, sorry about that. Now what we need to do, go here, and we can select all of these. SZ, scale them down to flatten them a bit. Flatten these a little bit more. And bring them up. And then scale them on the Y-axis, or the X-axis rather. Like so. Okay. Now, okay, so they look like there's one really big part of the paw, and then the rest of the meat of it is kind of behind this fur over here. So that's what we'll do, so we can really get rid of this part of the mesh. Scale that in on the X-axis a little bit, and then we want to bring this forward on the Y. Now we want to select this and hit E to extrude to make the padding. Smooth that. Oh yeah, so I don't remember re-recording over the first tutorial to show you that, but, and I did put it in the comment section, but just in case you didn't catch that comment, in order to find smooth vertices, you go to vertex and click on smooth vertices, then right click to add a keyboard shortcut to it. So I made my shortcut Alt Q. So if you want to follow along more closely, you might want to make your keyboard shortcut also Alt Q. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I actually got Alt Q from another tutorial that I was watching, so that's why mine is Alt Q, because the guy in the tutorial had it. Anyway, it's just something to think about. So we just want to grab this whole pad area and just smooth it out a little bit, just because we don't want the detail to be so harsh. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, looking at our paws here, the claws of the paws come out closer to the top. So let's do that. Let's go back here, select these, hit I for inset. We're going to scale them on the X-axis. And we're going to bring them out on the Y. We're going to scale them on the Y also. And then we're going to E to extrude, scale it down. And then in the side view, we're going to Control and left click to extrude further, and then Control left click one more time to extrude even more. Gonna add to this ring here. Gonna grab these two edges, move those back, select that, move those out, Alt Q that, SX, okay, GY. Wanna move that part. Actually, we want to grab both of these and move them in the side view. Next, you want to grab this, rotate it up like so. And next, you want to grab this, scale it down, move it down like so. And then we can take this back part here actually and make faces with it. So go to edge select mode and F, and then we can make a edge loop in there, FF, and then go to 1, select this, shift select that, Alt M, merge at first or last. Actually, I want to merge it at the last. There you go. So that's the baseline for the claw. What we're gonna do is, for the bottom toe, we're just gonna extrude that back a little bit more. And we're gonna give this some volume as well. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're going to, because we modeled it in the center, if we move it over and go to our modifier stack here and click on the mirror modifier, and it should pop up on the other side as well, which is what we want. So there are 4 main paws, with the 5th paw being on the, I guess that's the inner side of the dog's foot. Let's see here if I can find this. Yeah, that's the inner side. Okay. All these cute little pictures of these puppies. Look at that. Anyway, sorry to get too sidetracked. So, what we're gonna do with these, we're just gonna scale these down and move these inward. Hit 3, G, Z. Okay. So, it has to be 4 of them, so Shift D on the X axis, hit 7 and Z, and see about bringing this one up like so. And if I am correct, and I believe I am, so the paws are extremely close together, so you might get some intersecting here. We'll fix that when we edit the meshes later, but we really want to try to avoid that if at all possible. So you might have to shrink these paws to an even smaller size just to make sure that they can all fit on the foot part properly. Okay, so we're going to select all of these, bring them over, and now let's start rearranging them. Just so that we can fill out this shape. Well, actually, what we'll do is what we'll do. This will make it a lot easier on us. Actually, we'll just go on ahead and make them their different sizes and positions, and then when we're ready to attach them to the foot, we will just go back to the main part of the body mesh and sculpt the main mesh to fit around the toes, and then we'll attach the toes. There we go. Okay, so you want something like that. You want your stuff to be arranged something along the lines of that, and then we'll of course add the extra toe that's smaller than all the other ones. Like so. Okay. So let's go back to our solid view. And we'll go back to our sculpting view. Now it says dynamic topology is disabled. That's fine because I know it's disabled. We just want to go in and inflate these areas down here so that they start encasing the toes. Howdy, I'm recording a tutorial. So just keep it down a little bit. It's alright, I'm almost done. Okay, so now that we have the main part of the body mesh attached, or at least overlapping the other part of the toe mesh, we can now just go in here, go back to the layout view, keep the body selected, go to add modifier, you know the drill at this point. Boolean, eyedrop tool, the toes, and we don't want the difference, we want the union of these guys. Okay, and then apply that. And now once that's applied, you can hide this, and then hide that, and then, whoops, well not hide that, you actually want to delete that. And then Alt-H to unhide this, and we now have our toes connected. Pretty neat, huh? And then, so let's go back to sculpting, and make sure you get the snake hook tool, not the grab tool, because like I said, the snake hook is a better grab tool than the grab tool. Very quickly. Okay, very good. Alright, so we're going to quickly sculpt some detail on these toes here, and then that'll be it for today's video.
What we do here is go back.
Alright, so we have basically the full body of Anubis sculpted out, and everything seems to be in its proper place. Okay. Alright. I think we're good, guys. So, thank you guys for watching this episode. Please share and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And in the next part, we'll just go ahead and we'll make the inside of the mouth. Probably do some more adjusting of the hands. And that should be it for our sculpted portions. So, again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next part. Have a good one.